Car Confessions. Today I'm talking about alarms. We had a guy at our house last week tweaking our alarm because it needed some fixing, and it's all fixed, so don't go try to break into my house because we will catch you. But it got me thinking about alarms and about the fact that it's always a question buyers ask when they're looking at houses. Does it have an alarm? But it cracks me up because according to many of my friends, nobody uses alarms, which is crazy to me. We set it every time we leave the house and every time we go to sleep at night, like clockwork. We always use our alarm. A friend of mine got broken into once and all of her jewelry was stolen. And she had an alarm, but she never set it. And she kicks herself now for not having set it because these things happen, so you have to be careful. And if you're paying for the monitoring every month, why wouldn't you set it? And then there's the case of my parents. My parents used to live in a big house, and they did set the alarm religiously, but they constantly had false alarms to the point that, every time the cops would call and say your alarm's going off, my parents would say, oh, it's probably just a false alarm. They were always right. But then they moved into a new house, and the alarm went off about a year into owning it. And the central station calls my parents, who are living in North Carolina at this time, and says, your alarm's going off. And my dad says, it's probably just a false alarm. Then he calls me and says, the alarm's going off. Will you go check it out? And I'm like, no, no, that's crazy. First of all, I'm at baseball. And second of all, no, you should have told the police to go check it out. Of course, I call George and say, babe, will you go by my parents' house on the way home from work? So he goes by, everything seems fine, the front door's locked, but he gets upstairs and realizes, oh yeah, the closet has been ransacked and there's footprints all over the carpet. So somebody was inside the house. They must have run in and gone straight upstairs. We think he probably knew, the house, and left. So, moral of the story, number one, if you don't have an alarm, you probably should. We live in Miami. These things happen. I have a great alarm company. I'm happy to share their phone number with you if you want to get a quote. Give me your email address and I'll send you my awesome list of vendors. Number two, if you do have an alarm, set it. Why would you be paying for it and not setting it? Come on. Number three, if Central Station calls and tells you that your alarm's going off, let the cops go. I think you get 2 false alarms per year for free, I think. But how much is a false alarm going to cost you if the cops go? $50? Isn't it worth it? To me, there's so much more to lose than paying a $50 fine for having a false alarm. Don't be my parents. So that's it for today. I'll be back soon.